Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, so for the past couple of weeks, I have been making a challenge for myself regarding all of the heroic missions that happen during the weekly invasion. So, for the past couple of weeks, I have been going around soloing each and every heroic mission to the best of my ability. And I have gotten a lot of comments, looking at you, at Antonio, with what build I have been running. So it's been a very long time because I just want to make sure that the builds I am running are very feasible and easy to acquire. A lot of the heroic missions I do need to disclose is it's all about skill. Your build is probably about 75%. The other 25% is how well you can handle the situation, because the heroic missions are scaled to a 4-man group size. So it does take a lot longer. As if you've noticed with all my other videos, they range from about 40 minutes, I think is the lowest, to over an hour. And that's really just playing it safe. And because it is scaled between the enemies, um, it's it's a challenge, but it gives something new. It's something fresh, at least for me, in my opinion. But enough talk, enough chatter. So let's just get right into the build. And the build we are going to go over right now, I'm going to designate as the True Phoenix build, and you'll see why. You'll kind of give an explanation as to why I'm naming it this build. All right. So let's get right into it then. All right. So now let's get right into the build. So the current specialization that I'm running for this is the sharpshooter specialization. Now the reason being is because the skill tree perks of the sharpshooter class allows you to have that fast reload speed, weapon handling, the headshot damage. All of that synergizes really well, specifically with this True Phoenix Patriot build. Now, for the weapon that I'm currently running is the custom P416. Okay, but the talent and the specific talent I'm running on it is measured. Added 20% rate of fire with a negative 50% weapon damage. Now, the reason being is because I personally prefer having a fast rate of fire at first, and then to back it up with that added 30% weapon damage, which is, it synergizes really well. It works really well because if you take a look at the other heroic missions I've been doing, the enemies just constantly keep melting because of this specifically. But also other factors are implemented, but you'll see why this build specifically synergizes well. For the exotic, I switch back between having Chatterbox, Nemesis, and Merciless. Right now I have Chatterbox because the added rate of fire that we all know with Blabbermouth. So having that added rate of fire, that 20% increase, along with the measured of 30% weapon damage, is actually, it's a win-win for this, for the two together. The Magnum I'm currently running, protected reload while equipped. This weapon grants added 10% armor while reloading. Now, during these missions, your enemies are going to flank you. They're going to try and get behind you. They're going to try and do everything possible to take you out. But if you're in the middle of a reload, the last thing you want to do is just go down and without finishing a reload. So by having the protected reload with the added 10% armor bonus comes in really handy. It happened a lot more than I actually realized. So definitely you want to try and find a sidearm that does have protected reload. So now onto the gear. So this is, yes, the Aces and Eights mask. If you ever run the raid, don't worry about it. You don't need Aces and Eights. I just happen to get the 42% damage to elites on here, and that's the highest DTE that I've ever had. And if I try to re-roll that onto something else, I'm going to lose that 42%. And it sucks. So you could run any mask, find a mask that's going to fit the build. You can run the True Patriot mask. You can run a high-end mask, part of the gear sets. It doesn't matter. The only reason why I'm running this mask is because of the 42% DTE. If I had it on something else, I'd probably be able to synergize this build a lot better than what I have right now. So, yeah, so 42% DTE, that came in handy a lot. Next, for the backpack, I've got the True Patriot Driver Excursion Pack. I have an added 9.5% weapon damage. The health came in handy, and the armor. These were the highest health and armor rolls that I could find and that I've found. This came with a 7% weapon. I've modified it for 9.5%. That's the highest weapon damage I've ever had on a backpack. So until I get something more, this is where it's just going to stay. Chest piece. Friendly or group AB, the added 10% assault rifle damage, along with the added 9% weapon damage, added 20,000 health, and added 5% headshot damage. It all works perfectly, especially with the sharpshooter class. Berserk and Vital. These two talents here are the best I feel to be running with this chest piece. Now your added 20% health is why I have such a high health, and then your Berserk with the added 10% weapon damage for every 20% max. So this all works pretty well, especially because the added 10% weapon damage, because of measured, because of blabbermouth. You have the skills, you have the gear to melt these NPCs that are higher in damage, higher in health than you are. So. Next, this is where the actual true Patriot comes in, the gear set pieces. The added 10% damage to armor. Damage to armor is the most specific piece that you want. And the reason being is because heroics are scaled to a 4-man team, that armor, it takes a huge beating from them. Because, you're supposed to have 4 people on, on the NPCs, or, 2-to-1, a 2-to-1 ratio or a 4-to-1 ratio. It doesn't matter. But because you're running solo, you want this added 10% damage to armor, because most of the time in the heroic missions, they are going to have armor. And because of the heavies, because of the warhounds, this is what you really need to aim for, is getting that damage to armor. Especially on your mods, you got 1% damage to armor, you got 2% damage to armor. If you can find mods that have a high damage to armor and add it on top of this, you'll be golden. Because if you're running the assault rifle with a health damage of 29%, there's really no reason to run anything else, because the health is just going to deplete immediately. Especially with all the added weapon damage that you have on your gear set pieces. The main focus is getting that damage to armor. So with the gloves, real quick, we do have 11% assault rifle damage. That's the highest I've seen assault rifle damage so far. And then the 7,457 health. You could tell that I'm really trying to get the health, because while armor is great and all, having that health is really going to be whether you live or die by, the enemy's assault rifles, the Warhound's 50 cal, the mini tank grenades and fire grenades or incendiary grenades. Yeah, you really want to have a high health, but you also want to make sure that's in conjunction with your armor. You don't want to have high health, low armor, or high armor and low health. Try to keep it even across the board. Next, we've got the Heraldi Holdings holster, because of the 10% accuracy, so that your reticule isn't going all over the place and that you're just kind of aiming down the line. You're mostly going to get headshots, especially with running sharpshooter and running accuracy. You'll have no problem. The other reason why I'm also running this is because the added 41,089 health. The talents, fill her up. I'm probably going to change this. I'll probably change the talent out. Trying to find a good talent to go with the Heraldi Holdings. If I change out the health, I'm going to lose some health. I don't know how much. I don't know. I'm still working it. Definitely, you got to make your choices. And lastly, for the knee pads, I'm running Heal Guard, 5% total armor, along with the 18,000 health and patience. So I was trying to run DTE instead of patience. But after I found out that patience actually that I was in cover for most of the time, and that patience came in handy, I was able to survive a lot more. I wasn't using my revive hive and saving it for other encounters, especially against like bosses or nothing but waves of yellow enemies. So patience comes in extremely handy. You want to aim for having patience on your knee pads. So definitely aim for having your defense at 6 or more. Definitely be running patience. It doesn't matter what knee pads you use. Synergize the build the way you want to synergize it. But this has worked for me. I haven't had any problems with it. So the skills. So skills, I go back and forth. It's all depending on the circumstances of where I'm at. It takes me a few tries at least to get through the mission. So if I have to run fire turret, I will take out the chem launcher, put in the fire turret, and then go back to the chem launcher. If I have to use another form of skills like the aerial drone or the turret, the automatic assault turret, then I'll do that. But I will always keep the revive hive on, but I will switch out between the turrets and the chem launcher, and keep the chem launcher with your heal. Put it on the instant use. That way you're not aiming it and trying to aim it at yourself type thing. So other than that, yeah, that's the build. So the True Phoenix Patriot build, it works. It's worked a lot. It's actually been one of my favorite builds to use for these missions specifically, just because I'm able to survive a little bit more than what I used to. Um, but definitely, you can make this the way you want it. But I recommend using your sharpshooter, keeping your armor and your health synergized as much as possible. Don't have too much of one, don't have less of the other. And just make sure that you're able to really focus in on what it is you're trying to achieve. Again, True Patriot, damaged armor, that's a must. Let's go over the mods real quick, okay? So the mods for the True Patriot Excursion Pack that I have is the defensive mod. You can see I have more added health, got that armor on kill. That's what you want. You want armor on kill. And then you got your armor per second regeneration. So, I got a little bit of skill power, but I'm mostly aiming for this reload speed right here. You do get the reload speed with the sharpshooter perk. However, added reload speed just so that you're quick at it. Not too big. Okay, the Araldi Holings has the offensive system, got the 1% weapon damage, along with 2% damage to armor, and then you got your 4% marksman rifle damage. Again, like I said in the beginning, I switch back between Nemesis, between Merciless, and Chatterbox. It's all dependent, but while I have this extra 4% marksman rifle damage, along with the added headshot damage from the skill tree perk, you're golden. Okay, but again, 2% damage to armor, so that's on top of the 10% you get from the True Patriots. So that's 12%. So you're melting the armor quicker than you would be if you didn't even have it. So keep that in mind. Damaged armor. And then lastly, you've got your Healer Guard with the defensive mod slots. The defense system, I got the added armor bonuses, I got the armor on kills, and then I've got the armor regeneration plus the health regeneration at 9%. But other than that, guys, the build is easy to acquire. You can get the gear set pieces without having to do the raid. Again, like I said, aces and eights. The only reason why I'm running it is because of the 42% DTE. You can find that same percentage on other masks, on other gear set pieces without having to do the raid. But other than that, guys, yeah, I hope you enjoy the build. So yeah, guys, that was the True Phoenix Patriot build. I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, there's a lot more that you can do to that build that you can synergize with. Change out the mask, kind of get other gear sets or brand sets in there to synergize it really well. But this is only one of the builds that I've been doing, and I do have another build that I will make another video on in the next coming days. I just want to make sure that what I'm providing you guys is enough for you to understand how to acquire the pieces, how to get them, what to aim for, and how to make it your own. So other than that, I wish you guys the best of luck. Again, these are very fun to do solo. It's definitely a great challenge, especially if you're looking for something new, especially during downtime like we have right now until the next episode 1 comes out. But yeah, so hit me up if you have any questions. Leave your comments down below. I'm always open to chatting, always open to help you find the right pieces, understand how to get certain pieces, what to look for, what to aim for. Definitely hit me up. Don't be a stranger. That's what the comment section is there for. I always answer my comments. I love talking. I love talking about the division. So yeah, definitely hit me up. All right, take care.
Check out the server just to be sure.
Reformat cancelled. Attack data 0.7%.
I'll send the data you were able to recover to our tech guys just in case. The museum is secure. Well done. Here's hoping we get some value from the data you transmitted.